Good day everyone, my name is Marvin. So today we're going to stream grade 12 question paper 2. Let's begin with question 1. Question 1, they said the metric class of a certain high school had to vote for the chairperson of the RCL. The scatter plot below showed the IQ of the 10 learners who received the most votes and the number of votes that they received. So this is our scatter plot. So they said before the election, the popularity of each of those 10 learners was established, and a popularity score out of hundreds was assigned to each. The popularity score and the number of votes of the same 10 learners who received the most votes are shown in the table below. So this is the table they're talking about. So the first question, they said calculate the mean number of votes that those 10 learners received. So if we check our table here, we have popularity score and we have number of votes. So you need to make sure that you calculate the mean for what number of votes, because the question asks to calculate what the number of votes, which is y. So opening a new whiteboard. So 1.1.1. So a mean formula is y bar is equals to 1 over n sum. How many learners do we have there? We have 10 learners, so it's going to be from 10, then I is equals to 1. So y is equals to I. So here we're going to do what? We're going to sum all the y values, and then after we're going to divide by the total number of learners that are there. So we have 1 over, how many learners is 10? So we're going to say 9. So I'm going to sum 9, 22 until 16. Plus 22 plus 10 plus 21 plus 11 plus 15 plus 20 plus 12 plus 19 plus 16. So you need to add all those numbers, and then after that you divide by the total number. So it's 9 plus 22 plus 10 plus 21 plus 11 plus 15 plus 20 plus 12 plus 19 plus 16. So you need to be fast because we are not going to waste time on statistics. So it's going to be 155 divided by 10. So we get our mean as what? 15.5. So this is our mean. So okay. Now they said what? Calculate the standard deviation of the number of votes that those 10 learners received. So okay, for this one, in order to verify this one again and this one, let's punch this data in our calculator, because I'm not gonna calculate the mean. I'm just going to write the mean because that question is 1 mark. So I'm going to go to mode, then press start. If you're using casual, then press 1. So you're going to have only one table. That table, you're going to punch 9, 22, 10, 21, 11, 15, 20, 12, 19, 16. So okay, after you can press AC, then press shift, then 1. And then go and press number 4. So you're going to check first for mean, which is number 2. You will see this thing in your calculator. Then is what is 15.5. So in order to use a calculator, you are verifying whether your calculation is right or wrong, because you can't afford to lose 2 marks. And the statistic is very easy. We are still going to encounter most difficult questions, so it's important to verify. So let's check for a standard deviation. So standard deviation, I'm going to press shift 1, number 4, then you will see something like this in your calculator. Press that one. So you're going to get your what? Your mean. So I get my mean as 4.59. So my mean is what? 1.1.2. My standard deviation is 4.59. So writing this is only 1 mark. They are not going to penalize you for not showing their steps. It's only 1 mark. So, okay, let's go to the next question. Next question, they said, the learners who received fewer votes than 1 standard deviation below the mean were not invited for an interview. How many learners were invited? So, okay, we're still dealing with what? We're still dealing with the number of votes. So, okay. Yes, we're still dealing with the number of votes. So here we're going to say 1.1.3. So 1 standard deviation below the mean. First of all, I want you to remember this formula. This formula is calculating what? Is calculating 1 standard deviation below the mean. This is the formula. So, but here they said what? They said the learner who received the fewer votes than 1 standard deviation below the mean were not invited to the interview. So this formula, we can simplify this formula as what? As y bar minus standard deviation, 1 standard deviation, and the other one is going to be mean minus positive 1 standard deviation. So what you need to know, this one is the one which is below the mean, and then this one is the one which is above the mean. So you need to take this one and substitute the values in order to get what? To get 1.1.3. So you're going to use this one, y minus 1 standard deviation below the mean. Then we got our mean as 15.5. So you're just going to substitute 15.5 minus, what is your standard deviation? It's 4.59. So here we're going to say 4.59. So minusing this one is going to give us what? 15.5 minus 4.59 is going to give us 10.91. So this is the answer. So, okay, 1.3, they said determine the equation of the last square regression line for the data given in the table. So, okay, in order to determine the equation of a regression line, you need to use your calculator. If you are having Casio there, can you take Casio and then press mode, then press number 2, which is start, and then press number 2, which is in this form, because remember a regression line is in this form, a plus bx. So press this one, you will see something like this. Here they are having x, here we're having y, then here is numbers. So let's punch the x value first. So checking our table here, you can see that x is what? Is this one, then y is this one. So don't confuse the values. So firstly, we are going to say 32, 89, 35, 82, 50, 59, 81, 40, 79, 65. So then we are done with that one. So now we need to do what? We need to put the y value. So it's going to be 9, 22, 10, 21, 11, 15, 20, then 12, 19, then 16. So you need to know how to punch your calculator first. So then after you can press AC, then let me open a new whiteboard. So then now you can do what? You can write your value. So value of A and value of B. So go to your calculator, press Shift 1, then you will see number 5. Number 5 is reg, so it's like regression. Press number 5, and then you will see A. Press number 1. So meaning our value of A is what? 1.78. Then let's check the value of B. Okay, something that I can advise you here, don't round to 2 decimal places, round to at least maybe 3 or 4 decimal places. So here you're going to say 1.770, okay, let's say 0.1. Let me round to 3 decimal places. So okay, now let's check the value of what? Of B. So you're going to press shift 1, then number 5, which is reg, then press number 2 so we can get the value of B. So value of B is what? Is 0.224. I'm rounding to 2 decimal places. So our equation is going to be what? Is going to be y is equals to so remember is what is the formula is this one, a plus bx. So you are starting with a, which is 17, no, not 17, 1.771 plus 0.224x. So this is your equation of a regression. So let's go to 1.4. 1.4, they said predict the number of votes that a learner with a popularity score of 72 will receive. So when you check our graphs here, the number of popularity represented by X. So here we have 72. So we want to predict Y. We don't know Y, so we want to predict Y. How can we predict? We need to use a regression line to predict Y. So in your formula of regression, we know our X value is what? We are given our X value as 72. We need to predict the number of score, which is Y. So in order to predict this one, you're just simply going to say Y is equals to 1.771 plus 0.224. Then substitute your X as 72. Then you're going to get the score. So I'm getting my score as what? As 17. Y is equals to 17 point. If I round this one, it's going to be 70. So this is my answer. So to interpret this is people who, okay, a learner who has a popularity of 72 is going to receive 17.0 votes. So this one you can simply round this one to what? Maybe to 18 votes. So you can just say, therefore, a person who has 72 popularity is going to have 18 votes. Let's go to the next question. Next question, they said, use the scatter plot and the table above provide the reason why IQ is not a good indicator of the number of votes that a learner could receive. So let's go to our scatter plot. So when you check our scatter plot here, we can see that the numbers or the data are scattered around the what? Around this table. So what you can say here as your reason why this IQ is not a good indicator of the number of votes that a learner could receive. You can say because the data is scattered around the table, that gives us what? A bad indicator. It's not a good indicator just because the data is scattered all over the table. And also you can check by what? Check the correlation. The correlation of what? Of this scatter plot is going to be low. Why? Because the data is scattered all over. So that's the reason. I don't know how you can put it, but the reason for this not being a good indicator is because the data is scattered all over this table. So okay, let's go to the next question. The next question, they said, using the scatter plot and the table above, provide the reason why the prediction in question 1.4 is reliable. So the prediction, we want to know whether the prediction that we did is reliable. So for that, we need to check our correlation, how strong our correlation it is. So if our correlation is strong enough, we can say the prediction that we did in 1.4 is very reliable. So let's check the correlation. Since you have your data in your calculator, press shift, press 1, then press 5, then press number 3. So our correlation is what? Is 0.98. So it shows that our correlation is what? Is very strong. Hence, the prediction we did is what? Is really what? What is that? Or is reliable. So because our correlation is what? It's a very strong correlation. We can conclude that yes, our data is what? Is reliable. So okay, let's go to the next question. So the next question, they said the company conducted the research among all its employees on what percentage of their monthly salary was spent on fuel in a particular month. The data is represented in the OGIV, which is the accumulative frequency below. So first question, they said how many people are employed at this company? So to check how many people are employed at this company, we use this graph and check the maximum point. The maximum point is where is at 60. So you can conclude and say, therefore, there are 60 people employed in this company. So 2.1, 60 people are employed in this company. So now 2.2, they said write down the model class of the data. So in order to write the model class of the data, you need to check the gap between the points. If you check the gap between this one is similar to the gap between this one, but it's similar to the gap between this one. But if you check this gap here, it's very wide. This one is very long. So this is our model class of the data. So in order to interpret this one, you just need to take the value here and the value here. So this is the model class of the data. So you're going to say it's from where? It's from 20 less than or equals to what? This is our x value. Yeah, so you're going to say x less than or equals to what? 25. So this is our model class of the data. So 2.2, you're going to say is from what? It's from 20 less than or equals to x less than or equals to what? 25. That's our model class of the data. I said you check the length between 2 points. You can see that this one is very bigger than all of them. So hence that is the model class of our data. So okay, now 2.3, they said how many employees spend more than 22.5% of their monthly salary on fuel? So here we have a percentage of salary spent on fuel, which is the x-axis. So in order to check that one, let's check the interval. So the interval between 20 and 25, what is the length between this interval? So we're going to say 25 minus what? 20. So meaning the length between what? Between 20 to 25 is what? Is 5. But we have another line here which divides this interval in half. So you're going to divide that 5. So you're going to get 2.5. So meaning the distance between 20 to this midpoint here is what? Is 2.5. And the distance between here and here is what? Is 2.5, which you add is going to give us what? Is going to give us 5. So meaning this point here is what? Is 22.5. So we need to go up and locate the point. So it's somewhere here. So when we go up here, we need to check what is the value here. Let's check 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So meaning 10 plus 30 is what is 40. So meaning the interval here is what is 2. So here we are going to have 2, 4. So here meaning is 34. So you need to also take the maximum, which is this one. So we are looking for what? How many employees spend more than 22.5? So people who spend more than 22.5 is people in this box. So we need to find how many people. In order to find that, we have the minimum people that spend 22.5. So you're going to say this is the minimum people. The maximum people is what? Is 60. So you're going to say 60 minus what? 22.5. 60 minus 22.5, and we're going to get no, it's not 60 minus 22.5. 22.5 is how many people? Is 34 that we calculated. Sorry about that. So you're going to say 60 minus what? 34. So you're going to get 60 minus 34 is 26. So meaning 26 people, they spend more than 22.5% of their monthly salary on what? On fuel. So if you don't understand, please comment down so I can clarify. So okay, now let's go to 2.4. 2.4, they are saying an employee spend 2,400 of his salary on fuel in a particular month. Determine the monthly salary of these employees if he spends 7% of his salary on fuel. So, okay, this question is very simple because this is the what? This is the monthly salary this employee spend on fuel on a particular month. But now they want us to determine what? To determine the 7%. The 7% is spent on the fuel. So to do that, you're going to say it's 2.4. So 2.4, you're going to say 2,400 times 7 over 100. This is percentage. So you're going to say 2,400 times 7 over 100. So we are going to get no. It's not like that. We need to interpret this question. They said an employee spent 2,400 on his salary. An employee spent the 2,400 on his salary on a fuel in a particular month. Determine the monthly salary, or determine the monthly salary of this employee if he spends 7% of his salary on fuel. Okay, this question, we are looking for the salary of this person, not the 7% is spent on fuel. So we are looking for the salary of this person. So in order to do this question, we need to flip this one. So it's going to be 100 over what? Over 7. So we need to times that one. So it's going to give us 2,400 times 100 over 7. So his salary is what? Is 34,285.71. So this is the monthly salary he gets each and every month. So now let's go to 2.5. So 2.5, they are saying the monthly salaries of those employees remain constant and the number of liters of fuel used in each month also remain constant. If the fuel price increases from 21.43 per liter to 22.79 per liter at the beginning of next month. How will the above or give change? So okay, they are saying the price of the fuel increase to what? To 22.7. So how will this affect our or give? So you need to know that this one is only going to what? To tilt or shift our what? Our cumulative frequency. So our give is or our give or frequency or cumulative frequency graph will shift it to the right. Why? Because this is increasing. This is the fuel price that are increasing. So this is the x-axis is increasing. So this is going to affect our or gives to shift to the right. So that's the answer for that one. You can say or give will shift to the right. So okay, let's go to question 3. So question 3 is an analytical geometry. So okay, here they said in the diagram A is 4 and 2, B is 6 and -4, C is -2 and -3 are the vertices of triangle ABC. T is the midpoint of CB. The equation of line AC is what? 5x minus 6y is equals to 8. The angle of inclination of B is alpha. Also have triangle DCT is drawing such that CD is parallel to BA and the line AC and DT intersect at S. And also have y-intercept of what? Of AC. And we also have P, F, and R at the x-intercept of what? Of DC and AC and AB respectively. First question, they said calculate the gradient of AB. So to calculate the gradient of AB is going to be easy because we have all the coordinates. So I hope you know the formula by now. So we are going to say 3.1. The formula of a gradient is going to be we start by y. So you also have a formula sheet back to your question paper. You can check if you forget the formula. So it's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So having our point A and B. So let's check our point A is 4 and 2. 4 and 2. Point B is what? Is 6 and -4. 6 and -4. So okay, this one is going to be our y1. This is going to be our y2. So we're going to say 2 minus -4. So because this is negative, pay attention to negative. You need to put the brackets here. So divide by, this is going to be x1. This is going to be x2. So you're going to say 4 minus 6. So using your calculator, find our gradient as what? We find our gradient as -3. So okay, 3.2. 3.2, they said calculate the size of alpha, this alpha. So in order to calculate the size of this alpha, you need to know the gradient of AC. So we already calculated this gradient. So we simply going to use the formula, which is tan of alpha is equals to gradient of what? AC. So you just need to substitute the gradient of AC, which is -3, tan of what? Of alpha. So alpha is going to be equals to tan second function -3. So tan second function -3 is going to give us -71.565. Okay, so for this one we need to pay attention to this one. Using our cos diagram, we know tangent is negative where this quadrant and this quadrant. So So here we need to do what? We need to say our alpha is going to be what? Is going to be negative 71 plus, okay, wait, not 71. 71.565 plus what? Plus 180 degree. So this is going to give us what? It's going to give us 108.43. So that's our value for alpha. That's our angle. So okay, or something that okay, I think I didn't explain this well, because you can't just claim that you need to add the 180. So let me explain this so that you can understand in exam. So if you have a tan of an angle is equals to -3, so you need to use a reference angle. So this thing is the same thing as tan of what? Of alpha is equals to what? Is equals to 3. So that's why you're going to say alpha is equals to tan second function 3. So which you're going to get positive what? Positive 71.565. So okay, since this is a negative angle, and I was also talking about cos diagram. Cos diagram, we know that the tan is negative here and here. So, but let's take the first one. So it's going to be, alpha is going to be 180 minus the angle, which is 71.565. So which you're going to get what? You're going to get 108.43. So that's the reason I added this 180. So I wanted to give you a reason. If you don't understand this way, use this way. This way is trigonometry, where you use a reference angle in order to do what? In order to find the angle that you are looking for. So okay, now they said calculate the coordinate of what? Of t. So in order to calculate the coordinate of t, we are told that t is the midpoint of what? Here, we are told that t is the midpoint of AC, no, CP, which is this one. So we can simply use a midpoint formula to get our t. So you know our midpoint formula is what? X1 plus X2 divided by 2, and Y1 plus Y2 divided by 2. So here you're going to say -2 plus 6 divided by 2. Then -3 minus 4 divided by what? 2. So using your calculator, -2 plus 6 divided by 2, you're going to get 2. So our t is going to be 2. Then the other one is going to be -3, -4 divided by 2. So the second one is going to be -7/2. So that's our t. So I'm trying to move fast because I want to do the difficult question. I know this one, most of you understand those questions by now. We are just trying to analyze. So okay, now they said they calculate the coordinate of S. The coordinate of S is this one. So we need to interpret S. S is what? It's X and Y, right? But here we know that we know x-intercept, which is what? Which is 0, but we don't know y. And remember, we are given the equation of what? Of AC. Remember, they said the equation of AC is what? Is this one. So you need to use that equation in order to get what? Your y value, because we have our x value. So you are going to say 5, substitute 0 minus 6y is equals to what? 8. So this one is going to cancel. Now we have what? We have -6y is equals to 8. And then divide here by -6, divide here by -6. So we have y is equals to 8 divided by 6. So our y is going to be -4/3. So our s value is what? As 0 and what? -4/3. So if you don't understand, please comment down so I can clarify. I didn't even do mic check. I don't know if you can hear my voice. It was the last time I streamed without audio, so I need to check. Okay, so let's go to the next question. The next question, there's a determine the equation of what? Of CD in the form of y is equals to mx plus c. So in order to determine the length of CD, what do we know? We know that this length is parallel to what? To AC. So a line that is parallel, they also share the same gradient. That's something you need to know. Parallel lines, they share the same gradient. So we already calculated the gradient of what? Of this line in question 3.11. So the gradient of this line, it was what? We find it to be -3. So even the gradient of this line is what? Is -3. So you can't fail to calculate the equation of this line since you have a gradient and also have a point C. So you know you're going to just write y is equals to what? Mx plus c. What is your gradient? Your gradient is -3. So you know the value of what? Of x and y. You use this point. So you're going to say -3 is equals to -3, and then substitute x plus c. So this one is going to give us what? 6 plus c. So taking 6 to the other side is going to give us -9. So our c is -9. So therefore, the equation is what? Is y is equals to -3x minus 9. So let me write this down. So 3.2 y is equals to what? -3x minus 9. So I already show you how we arrived to that equation. So 3.3. So 3.3, they are saying, oh, it's 3.3.1. Okay, 3.3.1. So they're saying calculate the size of what? Of angle DC, DCA. So we are looking for this angle here. We are looking for this angle. So, okay, before we go further, we need to analyze this sketch. So we are told that this line is parallel to what? To this line, right? Yes. So there's something that we know here. This angle here, I don't know if you can see Z. This angle here, this one is equals to what? Is equals to this one, because it's an alternative angle. This length is parallel to this length. So, okay, now we need to do what? Since we know the gradient of what? Of this line. Someone will ask me, how do we know? We have this equation here, so we can just simplify it and find our gradient. I will show you how. So we can calculate this angle here. Then after calculating this angle using this gradient, we can also calculate what? We can also calculate this angle easy. So that's my goal now, to calculate this angle and calculate this angle, so I can calculate this angle, I can get this angle. So okay, I said that we already have the gradient of this line. How? Let me show you. So we have an equation 5x minus 6y is equals to 8. So what you need to do here, sorry about that. What you need to do here, you need to take this x to the other side. So it's going to be negative 6y is equals to negative 5x plus 8. Then after we divide the negative 6, we divide the negative 6. So we can get our equation as what? As negative 5 over 6x plus, minus this one is going to give us negative 4 over 3. But we are more focused on what? On the gradient, which is negative 5. Gradient is negative 5 over 6. So let me erase everything because we're more concentrated on what? On our gradient. We're looking for our gradient. So gradient is what? Is negative 5 over 6. So our gradient of is negative 5 over 6. That's gradient of which line? AC. Of AC. So now we need to say tan of theta is equals to negative 5 over 6. So even this one, we can just use the reference angle again. Ref angle. So you're going to say tan theta is equals to 5 over 6. So theta is equals to tan second function 5 over 6. So now we are going to say tan second function over 5 over 6. So we are going to get 39.8056. So okay, now you're going to say theta is equals to what? 180 minus this angle, which is 39.5056. So this one is going to give us 9 minus 6. It's going to give us 140 plus 1944. Okay, so let's go to our sketch. So 140.1944 is this angle here. So in order to get this angle, we can simply say 180 minus 140. So we can get this angle here. So we're going to say 180 minus answer. So the angle inside here is what? It's 39.0856. So now we have a triangle. So now we have a triangle here where we have this angle. Let's take maybe this angle A, and we have this angle which is angle C, and this one is B. So we know that this angle is an exterior, so A plus B is equals to what? C, because it's an exterior angle of a triangle. So here we are going to say what? We are going to say, in order to get B, we are going to say what? We are going to say B is equals to C minus A. So what is our C? Our C is this angle that we got, which is, it was what? 108. What is that angle? Because this one, 108 plus 108.43. So 108.43 minus A. A is this angle here, which is 39.8056. 0.56. So minusing that angle, we're going to get our answer as what? We're going to get our answer as 108.43 minus 39.8056. We're going to get our answer as 68.62 degree. So this angle here is what? Is 68.62 degree. So meaning even this one is 68. So reason is alternate angle. So, okay. So we got this angle. I said in order to get angle AFR, okay, AFR, you're going to say 180 degree minus 140.1944 degree. Raising angle on a straight line. So 180 minus 140.1944 is going to give us 39.8056 degree. So this is the angle inside the triangle. This one, this triangle, this one. So remember this one, the one that I was explaining, that angle A plus B is equals to C. Raising exterior angle of a triangle. So since we have our C and A, we can find our B by making B a subject of the formula, and then that's where you are going to get your what? Your FAR. So I'm just going to say FAR is equals to what? Is equals to 68.62. So then you can say, therefore, the angle that we are looking for, which is angle DCA, is equals to angle FAR, which is equals to 68.62 degree. Reason alternate angle. Then when you said alternate angle, why do you say alternate angle? Because we have two lengths that are parallel. So you're going to say DC is parallel to AB. You also need to include this one. DC is parallel to AB. That's why I'm saying we have alternate angle. So that's how you get our angle. So okay, let's move to the next question. So if you don't understand, please don't keep quiet. I'll try to re-explain. So okay, now they said calculate the area of POSC. Okay, let me remove this. So in order to calculate the one, so 5 marks that one. In order to calculate that length, so is this length here? Not length, is this shape. So okay, for this shape, there is something we don't know the formula of this one, but there is something I notice. We already have this angle, and this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, let me write a proper sketch. So I'm saying we have this line, and this line here touches here. Here is perpendicular to here, so which makes here 90 degrees. So let me join here. So here we are going to do what? We are going to draw a sketch here. I'm going to bisect this into two parts because I don't know the formula, but I'm trying to find the formula. So I'm going to bisect here in equal parts. So, okay, now I have what? I have right angle triangle and this triangle. So if I calculate the area of triangle, this triangle A here and this triangle B, I can add the triangle and find the area. Yes, so Here, I know this angle. So I can use sine, because I can just simply calculate this length here and also calculate this length. Then times by the angle inside, so I can find the area inside. This one, I can just use the right angle triangle property to calculate this triangle. So first, we need to calculate the length of PO. So to calculate the length PO is going to be very easy, you will see. So length PO, length, let me use blue, length PO is equals to, so what is our P value? Remember, we got our P as what? As, did we calculate our P? Let me check. No, we didn't calculate our P. But, okay, since we have the equation of this line, yes, they asked us to calculate the equation of this line. So we can simply calculate the coordinate of P. So the coordinate of P, we know that y is what? Is 0. So there's somewhere where we calculate the coordinate of C. The equation of C, yeah, this one. The equation of C, D. So we are going to use this equation to find this point here, point P. So our equation is what it was, y is equals to negative 3x minus 9. Yes, so P, let's interpret point P. Point P is x, y is 0, right? X we don't know, but we know y. So here we're going to say y is equals to 0, negative 3x minus 9. Taking 9 to the other side is going to be positive 9 is equals to negative 3x. So dividing 9 by negative 3 is going to give us what? Negative 3. So we have x is equals to negative 3. So here, our P is what? Is negative 3 here. Sorry, our x is negative 3. So you will see why I calculated that length. So I calculated that length because now it's simple for me to calculate the distance PO. So now the distance PO, since here is what? Is negative 3. So distance from 0 to here is what? Is 3. Distance is 3, guys. Don't put negative, put 3. There's no negative distance. So the distance is 3 units. So, okay, now we already calculated S. We find our S to be 0 and I think it was negative 4 over 3. So even to calculate the length OS is going to be very simple. So length OS is going to be, so since this one is Y, we are going to take our Y. The reason why I take 3 here is because this side is X-axis. So this side is Y-axis, so we are going to take Y. So meaning our distance is 4 over 3 units. So, okay, now we have the distance of this one and this one. We can calculate the triangle of what? Of PSO. We can simply calculate the area of the triangle. But before we do that, let's also calculate the information of the second triangle. So since we have P, which is what? 3 and 0. And C, which is negative 2 and what? Negative 3. So we need to calculate the distance. So I'm going to be fast here. So the distance of P C is going to be square root of, I hope you know the distance formula by now. I'm not going to write the distance formula. If you forget the distance formula, go back to your answer sheets. No, to your question paper. There is a formula sheet there where you can remind yourself of the distance formula. So here you are going to say negative 3, negative 2, then to the power 2, plus. Then our y here, it was what? 0 minus 3, then squared. So using our calculator, we are going to get our distance as what? Let's check. we're going to get our distance as square root of 10. So distance of PC is 10 units. So this distance is 10 units. So now we need to calculate the distance of what? SR. SR, I'm still going to do the same thing, guys. So let me not, okay, no, it's fine. Let me show you. So SC is going to be square root again of what? What is the value of S here? S, I said, is this one. So you're going to say 0 minus 2 squared plus then negative 4 over 3 minus 3 squared. Check the brackets, how many brackets I'm putting. Here is the brackets that is going to put negative 2, and here is the bracket that is going to put negative what? 3. And then now we also need to close everything and then square it. Please pay attention to the brackets, because that's where you're going to lose marks, or you're going to get error or wrong stuff. So this one is going to give us the length SC is going to give us square root of 61 over 3 units. So this one is SC. So allow me to erase this one, because now you know how I got the distance. So okay, so now since we have everything, we have this length, we have this length, we have this angle. So now we can start. Let's start by triangle A, this triangle. So this triangle is right angle triangle. We are just going to say area of, sorry. So that one you are simply going to say area of a triangle PSO is going to be 1 over 2. Sorry, it's not PSO, it's POS. It's going to be 1 over 2 times length, which is what? Which is PO, times by height, which is what? OS. So here you're going to say 1 over 2. What is PO? PO, we find it to be 3. What is OS? OS is what? Is 4 over 3. So we need to times that one and check our answer. 4 over 3. So we get this one as what? As 2. Okay, 2 units square. So let's try the second one. So it's going to be area of the second triangle, which is PCS, is going to be 1 over 2 times length PC times length SC times sine of the angle, which is what? Which is PCS. So here you're going to say 1 over 2. What is PC? PC, we find the length to be 10 units, square root of 10 times. What is SC? SC, it was square root of 61 over 3 times sine of what? Remember this angle, you got this angle as what? As 68 point something. So let me erase here so I can. So it was 68 point, let me check again. 68.62. So here 68.62. So it's 1 over 2 times square root of 10 times square root of 61 over 3 times sine of what? 68.62. So here I'm getting 3.83. So you're also going to add this 2. Then meaning your final answer is going to be 5.83 units square. So that's your final area. Your final area, you're going to add what? You're going to add this one, the first one, this one, and this one. So you're going to say the area of this one is going to be this area, the first area, plus the second area. So you're going to get 5 marks for that. So, okay, let's go to, we're done with this one. Let's go to question 4. So, okay, question 4. They said in the diagram, M is 3 and -5 is the center of a circle having Pn as its diameter, and K is a tangent to a circle at N. Okay, first question, they said calculate the coordinate of P. So in order to calculate the coordinate of P, this is the opposite. So we know a midpoint. So you need to know that the distance between here is equals to the distance between here, because those ones are radius. So now you need to do what? You need to say x1 plus x2 divided by 2 is equals to x midpoint. Then another one is what? y1 plus y2 is over 2 is equals to y midpoint. So, okay, we have x midpoint, which is 3. We have y midpoint, which is -5. So here you are simply going to say 7 plus x2 divided by 2 is equals to what? 3. Then the other one you're going to say -2 plus y2 divided by 2 is equals to what? Is equals to -5, because it's the y midpoint. So then after, you need to do what? Cross multiplication. For this one is going to be 7 plus x2 is equals to what? Is equals to 6. Then take 7 to the other side, you're going to get x is equals to what? -1. So our P, our x value is -1. Let's check our x value. So x value cross multiplication. So it's going to give us what? -10. Then take -2 to the other side, is going to be +2. So y is going to be -8. So here we have -8. So now we can erase this. I have already shown you how we got our P value. So, okay, and then 4.2, they said determine the equation of the circle in this form. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to stop today. That's what I'm going to stop for today, because I need to go somewhere. Thanks for watching. Let's continue this thing tomorrow at 2 p.m.